This is Eden, and this is Juliana. And if you couldn't tell, they're identical twins. They were taken home from the hospital, and they looked exactly the same, outside and in. These are their genes. Unfortunately for their parents, they aren't going to stay this little forever. They really do grow up so fast, and as they grew up, they grew different. Here's a little life update. Eden here is healthy and thriving. Juliana has breast cancer. But how? We saw their genes, weren't they identical? Let's take another look. Well, the actual genes look the same, but if we look a little closer, whoa, what is that? And how did it happen? The term epigenetics comes from the term epigenesis and was first coined by Conrad Waddington in his Epigenetic Landscape. Aristotle's concept of epigenesis suggests that we, along with everything else, came to be through a series of processes, that we didn't just start out as little versions of ourselves. Waddington's epigenetic landscape is a visual model that points to that same thing. The modern use of epigenetics is the idea that the presentation of our genes is not strictly hereditary, that, in some cases, presentation is influenced by environment. But what does that have to do with Juliana? This little pin in Eden's genes is a type of epigenetic marker. This is what stopped her from developing cancer. Gaining this marker is referred to as BRCA1 promoter methylation. This marker basically turns off the gene it's attached to, so even though she and her sister both have it, it doesn't present in her. Unfortunately for Juliana, she never developed it. We don't know exactly why this does or doesn't happen. What we do know is that the gene allows tumors to develop if it isn't switched off. Thankfully for Juliana here, there are a lot of treatment options out there for her. We're even working on some that rely on epigenetics. This is an extreme oversimplification of the topic. For this example, we only looked at one type of marker, but in real life they are all over our genes. Sometimes they aren't even on the actual DNA. Scientists are learning a lot of fascinating new information about epigenetics every day. These new discoveries help us to understand how environment impacts the display of genes in both us and in future generations. This allows us to understand the effects of famine in populations, revolutionize cancer treatment, and so much more.